If you don't mind, I'm going to do my makeup because I'm going to go out, but I think that this is important to talk about. Right behind 15-year-old Amanda Todd, who killed herself due to bullying, another girl commits suicide by jumping in front of a train. Cram load of students. She jumps in front of a train. Apparently this girl, Felicia Garcia, apparently was videotaped with four high school football players. She was taped having sex with them. And then that tape got out and they put it out there, and she couldn't deal with the bullying that she couldn't deal with the shit she was getting for it. So she killed herself. Just like with the case of Amanda Todd, there's all these people. This is what happens when somebody commits suicide due to bullying. I put due to bullying in quotations because that's a phrase that keeps popping up in the media, in the news industry a lot. Now, I work in the news industry. You know, when I was at my local station, we would get people calling in reporting suicides. We did not report on suicides because look what happens when you, in a sense, glorify what is going on. And I don't mean glorify like, oh, all praises to the mighty news fucking story. I mean, you're putting it out there. You're showing both sides of what happens after somebody commits suicide. You're seeing people getting the support that they wanted while they were still alive, but then you still get the bulliers, you still get the bullies condemning people's actions. You know, I'm no psychologist, but I do think there is something to be said by the amount of publicity a suicide gets. And when you see the amount of attention it gets, maybe, possibly, this is just a scenario, somebody who is young, impressionable, and doesn't have that support system, they see that there is a support system out there, only if this factor enters it, that being suicide. What really I cannot understand is people that get so insanely angry at these people that say, well, what the hell, you know? Or they make jokes, or they continue to bully. But my fucking phone is ringing. What? No, I'm just kidding. What's up? Because instead of actively trying to stop bullying, as people do, as people tweet that they want to stop bullying, what they're not doing, they're just sitting there being slacktivists about it. They're saying, well, this is what I would have done. Like, what do you mean what you would have done? If you really, truly wanted to fucking help, you would get off your ass and become a support system for people that are crying fucking out for help. You don't sit there tweeting, we should stop cyberbullying and rip Amanda Todd, rip Felicia Garcia. That's not helping anybody. That's making you feel better for something that you had no control over anyway. Do I want to see people in pain? No. I think this is a horrible thing that happened. I think it's fucking ridiculous because, hey, taping somebody who's 15, underage, having sex, what's that called? Child pornography. What the fuck is this doing on the internet? I know. It's all over the place. I know that people always get under the radar and shit, but my God, like, if you want to bring up charges, bring it up against whoever fucking videotaped that shit. I'll continue this later, because my friend wants me to fucking leave right now, so I'll be right back. I'm back, bitches. I have a bit of a headache. Ugh. So, let's continue. Another thing that I think is perpetuating all of this that I see is anything that you see, if you read an article about what happened, it starts off by saying he or she was bullied to death. In essence, placing blame solely on bullies. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that the bullies had no part in this whatsoever, but I think personally you cannot put blame solely on this one entity, because there's a million different factors. You know, I don't know what's going on inside a suicidal person's mind. I can't ever tell you what somebody's like mind is saying to them right before they commit suicide. I've never been in that place. I have no say to comment on that. But I'm just saying, you see people that react to this, they start blaming solely the bullies. When you have to look, you know, you think this girl Felicia, even Amanda Todd, they had pretty crappy home lives. This is where the shit starts. You know, at home, you learn how to cope with the bullshit that gets thrown at you every day. You learn how to cope. You learn your self-confidence there. You know what I mean? And obviously these girls did not have that. We're not being taught that anymore. We're being taught that everybody's special and you're just going to be you forever, and that's okay because you're special. You're a unique snowflake. But we're not being taught that there are assholes out there and they suck and they exist no matter what the fuck you say, no matter how many tweets and hashtags you use. They're going to exist no matter what you do. We're not learning to deal with this shit. So you get this sort of false support that happens. I call it false because people that are adamant of saying, oh, well, I support that. I don't want anybody being bullied. The majority of them turn around. Anybody that's got a dissenting opinion, they turn around and say, well, just for that, I hope you get cyberbullied and I hope you kill yourself. Like, what the fuck? Aren't you being a bully in turn because you don't agree with somebody? Now you're telling them to go kill themselves because they don't agree with you? How is that okay? It's just this warped, fucked up message that keeps perpetuating the more and more this is glorified. I don't have the answers. I don't know what's gonna be done to prevent suicides. I don't know. Does anybody have that answer? The schools seem to think they have the answer, but then shit just keeps happening. I will say, though, Felicia Garcia's act, from what I read, it seemed very impulsive. However, she was having issues before. Nobody said anything. Nobody tried to help her, it seems. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I'm just saying that if somebody's crying out, there's no support system there for her. That's the unfortunate thing. She didn't have a good family life. She was a foster kid. She was bounced around from foster house to foster house. That's not an easy upbringing. So you can't condemn the actions of somebody like that has this life that you possibly couldn't imagine. Maybe you can. Maybe you were in the foster homes too. Maybe you understand how she's feeling. I don't know. My parents have been married for fucking like 30 years. So I have no idea. I can't comment on that. That's not my place to comment on that. You're going to hear the phrase, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. When you think about that and you break it down, it's true. Now, you know, with all due respect, there are some people that maybe can't be helped. There's some people that, you know, it's always going to be doom and gloom, no matter how many other ways they see it. It's always going to be effed up for them, and that's sad, but that's reality. Some people, that's just how some people are. But a lot of people are able to help. If they are crying out for help and they need help, they're able to ask for help, and they're able to get the fuck out of this bog that they found themselves in. What happened to Felicia Garcia? Fucked up. Very fucked up situation. I'm not trying to trivialize that. I'm just saying, if the support system was there, possibly she could have pulled out of it. But it obviously wasn't. But here's the thing. What good is it to look back in retrospect on any of this? What good is that going to do? The deed has been done. It's unfortunate. But that's fucking life. That's what it is. I think the whole point of this video is just the campaigns, the e-campaigns that continue to happen after all this shit happens. Well, we gotta wait for a kid to fucking die before we do something? That's what I don't get. You know, you're using this as a catalyst to go be a good do-gooder. Just go do it. If you feel that strongly about it, if you're saying these things and you feel so strongly about it, go fucking help somebody. I know it's not always easy. I know life isn't always easy. We all know that. That's what I'm saying, you know, like, I know it's not easy to pull yourself out of this bog you may have found yourself in, and sometimes, yes, you need help, but it's possible. I feel like everybody on the earth has that in them to do that, and to live the life that they always wanted. But sitting around tweeting shit all day is not going to help anybody. It's not helping anybody. I'm sorry for yelling and stuff. This is just, it's like the last fucking final straw about this shit, man. It's insane. It just never stops, man. Maybe if I didn't work in news, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna go to bed after taking my makeup off that I so longingly put on. I'm gonna go. Good night, bitches.